More rain for eastern Australia while parts of New Zealand need rain. Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Wednesday weather update. We are tracking low pressure around New South Wales. It brought flooding into Sydney yesterday and around some other parts of New South Wales and southern Australia. The low itself now moving out into the Tasman, and it is going to deepen over the next couple of days as it tracks southwards and brushes the South Island of New Zealand. But it's the North Island of New Zealand, the upper North Island, that really does need rain. It is very dry at the moment, and it looks as though for now it's going to remain drier than average because those offshore rainmakers are just doing that. They're remaining offshore. On the wind map, you can see why that low with the rain is not coming into the top of New Zealand. It's got a northeasterly flow pushing it or guiding it and fueling it. This low will deepen in the next couple of days, but it will track southwards, moving away from the North Island, followed by high pressure down here, which will inject a southerly this weekend and early next week. But even that's not going to do much for northern New Zealand as far as rain is concerned. Now, talking of rain, let's take a look at the Australian numbers because it shifts from being down here and up towards Queensland once again over the next couple of days ahead. So around Bundaberg in particular and north of Brisbane, those rainfall totals are going to get back up again around that 80 millimetre mark and maybe even beyond that. So definitely worth keeping an eye on. Not as bad as the rain that we saw just recently, but still more rain on the way for eastern parts of Australia. So here is the low on Thursday. It's quite deep and it's got a fair bit of rain with it, but it's pulling itself away from Sydney while new low pressure is sort of bubbling up here, and that's why we're seeing a bit more rain coming through. There's a lot of low pressure all up here in the tropics at the moment. So this departs. New Zealand is still on the edge of it all. So we've got northerly winds coming down that will lift temperatures up even further. It's already quite hot through inland areas of both islands and also pretty hot through the interior of Australia to the north at the moment. By Friday, that's the closest that this low or storm, actually, it'll be a storm on Friday, will get to the South Island. So the centre of it tracks quite close. The bulk of the rain is south of the centre, so that's down in the Southern Ocean. So we're not seeing a lot of rain coming into the west coast, but the winds will pick up. So there'll be a northerly quarter, so it might be northeast in some areas, northerly, northwesterly, that'll be coming through, but windiest weather through the Southern Alps. And you can see the easterlies up here driving in those rain clouds once again to Queensland. So rain comes into New Zealand. This is the one-day rainfall map, starting from Friday morning into Saturday morning, and it shows that low from New South Wales clipping the west coast. The rain totals are behind me, sorry, but you're not talking about great numbers, maybe up to about 60 or 70 millimetres over here, and the blue blobs that you see up and around there are just one or two showers, not much at all on the way. And I just mentioned temperatures. It is hot across Australia. The areas in red, 40 to 45 degrees. That's coming up on Friday evening. So it is going to be a pretty hot end to the week. Also Western Australia. So let's take a look at Saturday. We've got high pressure in the Tasman now. That's a bit of a change. And by the way, for those who pay a lot of attention to this is quite a long way north. We've been seeing a lot of high pressure down here in the Southern Ocean lately, and while that's still likely to be a thing this month, as we go towards winter, we should start to see those highs drifting further northwards. But we've got low pressure just off the coast here. You can see that west coast rain on Saturday. There's that other low that wasn't a cyclone, but actually was more aggressive than Cyclone Eva was. And then as we go through to Sunday, that drifts a little bit further out to the east, and now we've got a cooler southeasterly flow between the high and the low. That's a southerly coming into New Zealand. So the temperatures drop on Sunday, and they drop even more actually next week as we go through next week. A couple of downpours also here on Sunday around the ranges or inland areas. And as we go in towards the start of next week, Monday, there is that low pressure zone, southeasterlies coming through, cloud and showers, much cooler on Monday across the country as a result of that southerly change. But it's not too dramatic because, as you can see, fairly light winds around the South Island on Monday. And that is all from me for today. We're back again tomorrow as we continue to update the low pressure zones exiting Australia and still yet to form around Queensland. And also we're looking for those rainmakers here at the top of the country. It is very dry at the moment, and at this stage, no relief in sight, but We still are optimistic that the rainmakers are going to be around because there is so much low pressure in the north at the moment. So we will keep an eye on the tropics and the subtropics, but for now it does lean drier than average for northern New Zealand. We'll see you again tomorrow with our next update.